Olympic Gold UFO. Every 4 years, the world holds its breath. We witness the culmination of lifetimes of dedication, a spectacle of human strength, speed, and spirit that transcends borders and politics. The Olympic Games. Athletes from every corner of the globe gather, not just to compete, but to chase a singular, gleaming dream. A dream forged in fire, history, and legend. The Olympic gold medal. It's more than just a prize. It's an icon, a physical embodiment of perfection, a testament to the absolute peak of human potential. When a champion stands on that podium, the weight of the medal around their neck is the weight of sacrifice, of years spent in grueling training, of a nation's pride, and of a permanent place in the annals of history. But what if that weight is something more? What if the very substance of that ultimate prize holds a secret so profound, so paradigm-shattering, that it redefines not only the legacy of every champion, but the very nature of human achievement itself? Prepare to question everything. Because we are about to delve into one of the most audacious and closely guarded conspiracies ever whispered in the halls of power, a theory known to insiders as the Vulcan Forgery. This isn't a story about doctored results or performance-enhancing drugs. This goes infinitely deeper, to the very atomic structure of the metal itself. The Vulcan Forgery theory posits a shocking, almost unbelievable claim that for decades the United States Pentagon has been spearheading a clandestine operation to secretly incorporate exotic materials not of this earth, into the production of Olympic gold medals. The theory alleges that metals and alloys recovered from the wreckage of crashed, unidentified flying objects are being covertly blended into the silver core of the medals awarded to the world's greatest athletes. Think about that for a moment. The symbol of humanity's best, secretly infused with technology from beyond the stars. It sounds like science fiction, but the whispers behind this theory are persistent and chillingly detailed. They don't speak of solid alien gold, but of something far more subtle and sophisticated. The allegation is that a unique non-terrestrial alloy, possessing properties we can barely comprehend, is microdosed into the bullion supply destined for the Olympic mint. A few grams here, a few grams there, distributed across thousands of metals over decades. It would be an amount small enough to be virtually undetectable by standard metallurgical analysis, yet significant enough to serve a hidden purpose. But what purpose? Why would a secretive branch of the government go to such extraordinary lengths? The motives suggested by proponents of the Vulcan Forgery are as fascinating as they are terrifying. One school of thought suggests it's the ultimate materials test. Imagine you've recovered a substance from a craft that defied our laws of physics. It's impossibly light, yet unbelievably strong. It resists heat and corrosion in ways that seem magical. You need to test its long-term durability and stability in a variety of real-world environments. What better way than to hide it in plain sight? By placing it in the metals, the Pentagon can track its performance over decades, exposed to different climates, levels of wear, and atmospheric conditions, all under the guise of being a cherished heirloom. The athletes become unwitting research subjects in the most classified material science experiment in history. Another more esoteric theory speculates on the energetic properties of the metal. What if the material isn't just a strong alloy, but has subtle resonant frequencies or quantum properties? Could it act as a passive sensor, a listening device, or even a subtle influencer on a psychological or biological level? The implications are staggering. If this is true, it means the integrity of the Olympic Games has been compromised on a cosmic scale. Every victory, every emotional moment on the podium would be retroactively tainted by a layer of deep state deception. The legacy of legendary athletes like Michael Phelps, Usain Bolt, or Simone Biles would be forever intertwined with a secret about extraterrestrial technology. Their triumphs would still be their own, born of their incredible talent and hard work, but the symbol of that triumph would be a lie. It would mean that national pride is being celebrated with an artifact of a global conspiracy, orchestrated by a shadow government that views the most sacred event in sports as nothing more than a convenient laboratory. This isn't just about a medal anymore. It's about the potential for a cover-up so vast it has used our heroes and our global celebrations as a smokescreen. The initial whispers of the Vulcan Forgery force us to ask an uncomfortable question. When we cheer for our champions, what are we really celebrating? The peak of human effort, or the success of a secret, otherworldly experiment?
Pentagon, alien, metal. So, if we entertain this mind-bending possibility, the immediate question is, how? How could a clandestine government agency possibly pull off such an audacious feat of cosmic subterfuge? The logistics of the Pentagon's deep secret would require a level of precision, secrecy, and influence that is almost as incredible as the existence of aliens itself. Yet, when you start connecting the dots, a hypothetical but disturbingly plausible chain of events begins to emerge. It all starts not in a stadium, but in the desolate, high-security zones of the American desert. The narrative of the Vulcan Forgery is intrinsically linked to the history of UFO crash retrievals. Events like the infamous 1947 Roswell incident, the Kecksburg, Pennsylvania case in 1965, or dozens of other lesser-known recovery operations are presented not as isolated mysteries, but as the first step in a top-secret supply chain. According to the theory, specialized military units, operating under the highest levels of classification, would retrieve the wreckage. This material, often referred to in leaked documents by code names like Aethelred Metal or Project Icarus Alloy, would be transported to secure underground facilities. Think of places like Area 51 in Nevada or the lesser-known but equally secretive Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio, a location long rumored to house recovered alien technology. Here, teams of brilliant, anonymous scientists would work in total isolation. Their task, to analyze, understand, and reverse engineer the exotic materials. The theory suggests they found an alloy that was not only physically superior to any terrestrial metal, but could be broken down and blended with conventional elements, like silver, without losing its core anomalous properties. This was the breakthrough. They didn't need to replace the Olympic medals, they just needed to enhance them. The next step is the most critical and audacious: infiltration of the minting process. The Pentagon couldn't just walk up to the official Olympic mint, whether it's in Paris, Tokyo, or Salt Lake City, and hand them a glowing piece of a UFO. The process had to be invisible. Proponents of the Vulcan Forgery point to the complex web of defense contractors and private sector partners that work with the U.S. government. The theory alleges that a highly vetted defense contractor, one that also has a seemingly innocuous division dealing in precious metals and industrial alloys, acts as the middleman. This company, under a national security directive, would be tasked with sourcing a portion of the raw silver bullion for the Olympic medal cores. During their own refining process, they would introduce the finely powdered extraterrestrial alloy into the molten silver. The resulting doctored bullion would be chemically indistinguishable from normal stock unless you knew exactly what unique, unearthly isotopic signatures to look for. This spiked silver would then be sold into the official supply chain, its cosmic secret perfectly laundered. Of course, the scientific and Olympic communities would dismiss this as pure fantasy. They would rightly point out that the composition of Olympic medals is strictly regulated. Gold medals are required to be at least 92.5% silver, plated with a minimum of 6 grams of pure gold. They are tested and verified. But this is where the genius of the alleged conspiracy lies. The tests are designed to find impurities we know exist, to verify percentages of gold, silver, and copper. How do you run a test for an element or an isotope that isn't on the periodic table? An element whose existence is the most closely guarded secret on the planet. Any anomalous readings, if they were even detected, could easily be dismissed as instrumental error or a statistical anomaly. The cover-up is baked into the limitations of our own science. The weight of an Olympic gold medal, therefore, isn't just the weight of triumph. It could be the literal weight of alien metal, a secret held in the hands of our greatest champions, hidden in the brightest spotlight on Earth. This forces us to reconsider the very fabric of achievement. If the foundation of our most celebrated prize is built on a lie, what does that say about our history? The victories are real, the sweat and tears are real, but the symbol itself may be a Trojan horse, a silent testament to a truth our world is not yet ready to face, fundamentally altering the true nature of victory.